Okay, Chapter 3.7, Estimate Sums and Differences. And we're going to use two kinds of estimation. And the first one is rounding. This is kind of what you're used to. And I know that you'll find it really easy. If you go to the grocery store and you're starting to put things in your basket, and you pick up a bag of chips for $3.69, and you pick up a box of cookies for $4.25, and you get a bottle of soda for 99 cents, and it's such a good price you decide to get another bottle of soda for 99 cents, and you go to pay. And you could add all of these up exactly, or you could use rounding as a technique, and this is what we're going to do. We're just going to round to the nearest dollar, to the nearest whole number. Okay, so that's the ones place. The nearest whole number to the nearest dollar, because we're imagining these are all dollars, $3.69. We don't have to, it doesn't have to be, but that's what we're doing this time. Okay, so we're just going to draw an arrow over here, and we're going to round everything either up or down. So this would round to $4, this would round to $4, 99 cents would round to $1, and 99 cents would round to $1. And we add all of those up. 4 plus 4 is 8, 9, and 10. We just say it's about $10. Now, if we only have a $10 bill, we might have to check a little bit more carefully, because it could be that we went over a little bit. I don't think we did in this case, but that's something you do have to check on now and then if you only have a certain amount. Anyway, that's the first step, and that's the easy part. I'm going to pause this because my dogs are trying to come in the house, so I'll be right back. Okay, let's talk about benchmarks. Okay, and a benchmark is just anything that you decide is a basis for measuring something or adding something or subtracting or rounding. A bunch of different things can be done with benchmarks. Today we're going to talk about benchmarks, and we're going to think about a number line. So we've got a number line going out here, and usually we round to the nearest whole. When we were adding groceries and stuff like that, I think we're rounding to the nearest the ones place, rounding to the nearest whole number. But it might be that when we're doing decimal estimation, we'd round to the nearest tenth, or we might find some other place to round to that's different. And it could be we do something like this, where we have we've got 0 on our number line, and we have 1 on our number line, but we might just cut our number line into 25s, like 0.50, or into hundredths. So this would be 0.25, and this would be 0.75. Now you can think about this like cents if you want to, like 25 cents, 50 cents, 75 cents, and a dollar. Okay, 0 and 1 are our two big marks, and we've got it split up into quarters. It's like 1 quarter, 2 quarter, 3 quarter, 4 quarter. Now, I didn't mark this in exactly the best spot. This is maybe a better spot, closer to where it actually belongs. But I'm not going to probably be able to fix it either and get close. All right, so we've got it split up into quarters, and a lot of times we round things, but we can round to a benchmark if we want. So, for instance, if we're adding 18 hundredths, excuse me, plus 43 hundredths, it could be that I could, instead of just rounding to the nearest, like if I rounded these to the ones place, I would get 0 plus 0 equals 0. And that doesn't make any sense. I could round it to the nearest 10, the 10th, this place, the 10th place, and then I would get, in this case, let's change colors just for fun, I would get 0.2 plus 0.4 equals 0.6. 0.2 plus 0.4 is 0.6, right? If I were to write it like this, you can see that the decimal, it's 2 plus 4 is 8. Bring down your decimal, add your zeros, you get 0. Oh, not 8, 6. Let's do that right. Thanks for noticing. Thanks for catching me on that one. Okay, so 6 tenths if we were rounding to the nearest tenth. And that would be a fine way to do it. What they're asking us to do is round to the nearest benchmark. And so what's the closest thing? 0.18 on between 0 and 25. 0.18 might be about here. And 0.43 would actually be somewhere around here. Okay, so we're just trying to decide which one's closer. Is this 0.18 closer to 0, or is it closer to 0.25? And it obviously rounds to that benchmark. And the same thing here, 0.43 is closer to 0.50 than it is to 0.25. Whichever mark it's closer to is what we're looking at. Okay, so if, for instance, if we had one up here, and maybe we'll do this in a second, and call this 0.81, and this would round down to this benchmark, 0.75. So we're just checking to see which it's closer to, which benchmark it's closer to, and rounding to there. So if we were to do it this way, we would round to 0.25 and 0.50, and we can actually round that on our head. 25 plus 50 is 75, 0.75. Or we could do it the same way, just like we did up here, 0.25 plus 0.50, although I think the point is 0.75, just like that. I think the point is to do it quickly in your head. And so a benchmark that counts by 25s is reasonable because you can count by 25s pretty easily. Most of you can. It seems to work pretty well. We could do the same thing with the subtraction problem, because I know I've only shown you addition, but this lesson includes addition and subtraction. So you do want to be able to do both of those. So if this were 0 and this were 1, then the 0.5 would be right in the middle. The 0.25, 0.25 would be the first fourth, and the 0.75 would be the right in here between 0.5 and 1. Okay, so we got our same diagram, and they give you one of these in your book, and it's the same. It'll work pretty well for you. Again, they gave us some numbers. We're going to do subtraction. 0.76. Make sure we do that right. 76 minus 22 hundredths, 0.22. So we'll go ahead and write these in here. 76 is just right next to the 0.75. And 0.22 is pretty close to the 0.25. Okay, and we go ahead and we subtract, but we're going to use the benchmarks instead. So the 7.6, this one rounds down to 7.5. And the 0.22 rounds up to 0.25. Not 5, 0.25. Okay, 25 hundredths. And if I had 75 cents or 3/4 and I took away 1/4, I would have 50 cents left. I think that's one of the reasons that they use these as benchmarks, is because we can think in dollars and cents. You can think about quarters. 75 cents is 3/4. 25 cents is 1/4. We round to the benchmark, and then we can subtract quickly in our head and get an answer. This gives us an idea of how to do that. Hopefully that was clear. Hopefully that's something easy to do for you. The instructions tell you to use benchmarks to estimate, and they tell you to use rounding to estimate. So it could be, if they say rounding, and they might say 7.41 minus 3.88. If you're rounding, you're just going to round to the nearest whole number. Okay, 7.41 rounds down to 7. Minus 3.88, that rounds up to 4. And 7 minus 4 is 3. That's really all you have to do. You're done. You don't have to find the actual answer. We're just rounding. As long as you understand how to round to the nearest whole number to get a really quick estimate, then you'll be fine. And you don't even need, when using the benchmark, you don't even need the line graph that I drew. You can use your, just think about those dollars, those quarters. 50 cents, 1/4, 75 cents is 3/4. For instance, they give you one 8.12. Now it doesn't have to be $8.12, but we could think about it like that. And 552, we could think about that as $5.52, and we're adding. Okay, so if we're using our benchmarks, we're just going to say, well, is 12 closer to 0 or 25? You know, that's kind of a tough one. It's actually closer to 0. 13 would be closer to 25. That's just almost right in the middle, but we would still round that down to $8 even. And 555 would round down to $5.50. And so if we add these, we just can think that $8 and $5 is $13, and we have 50 cents. Between these two, 0 and 50 cents is 50 cents. And we're done. So 13.50 is our answer. And I think that's a good way for you to do that. This assignment, again, should go pretty fast. You'll have to think a little bit more for the word problems that are on the last page of the lesson, but that should do it for you. Okay. You know, again, you don't have to watch me draw some silly picture. I guess I'm going to keep doing it, but I'm running out of ideas. I'm going to have to take some art classes because you guys are better artists than me a lot of times anyway. I think you just like to see me look silly. And so I draw the pictures of this peanut-headed character that kind of looks like me. And he's got his glasses on, and they go over his ears. That's it. And I don't know if you noticed, but lately I'm kind of working on growing my beard. So I've got just a little bit of hair up here, and it's not enough. So my little eyebrows. So I got these sideburns that kind of grew in, and they started growing longer and longer, and I finally just decided to let them. And now I'm kind of letting the mustache grow out. And so a couple of you, Melanie, thought that I looked kind of silly, and I think I look pretty silly anyway. So you know, it doesn't make me look worse. I think I look like a little more like a mountain man with the beard. It won't be a full beard, just a little bit of one. Anyway, if I am going to be a mountain man, then I'll have to work on some muscles. I'll have to lift some weights. This is my idea of a weight. Here's another one. It's like a barbell. Oh, could I draw it 3D? Yeah, that looks a little better. So you just draw the second one over and you connect them. A little weight there. That's right. And I'll have to learn how to if I have to carry a backpack. There we go. Strap that backpack on. Yeah. Backpack should be strapped on, and maybe that could be a good idea too. I could wear that hat. Not all of you like that hat either, but I wear that little hat, and we'll color that in. Yeah. Now, when I wear a hat, it's just like a winter hat. That almost looks like hair. We'll put a little ball on it. Put a little ball on the hat. And then, there we go. I'm ready to lift weights and go backpacking, and just for fun, we'll put the breeze is blowing, and I'm wearing a scarf. And it's purple, which doesn't match very well with my black hat and my brown backpack. Okay. Do I need anything else? Maybe, no, that's plenty. This is not me. I don't know who this guy is. This is, let's see, this is Dorsey. Dorsey the Mountain Man. This is not Mr. Armstrong. This is his distant cousin, Dorsey Armstrong. Okay, you guys have a nice day.